Live from the BMW studios, I am Nico, and I'm joined by a very special guest. Y'all see who it is.
Nico.
Yes, and James Fortune.
Yes.
Listen, 10 years ago, you and Monica got together to do something really special.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
Now y'all are back with Trust God.
Yeah.
Let the good people know about Trust God.
Man, I'm gonna say this. First of all, thank you for having me, Nico. Man, I appreciate it. And for us to do a song 10 years ago, Hold On, and for the success that it had, to be nominated for a Grammy, and we were like, you know what, it's time to do another one. She was like, James, but literally probably like the last 2 years, it's like, it's time to do another one. I'm like, okay, when God gave me the song, like, let's do it. And I sent her a few, but when she got that one, she was like, this the one. She was like, the world needs this message, trusting God, because the chorus says, we just out here trusting God.
Yes.
We don't have all the answers. We don't always know how God's going to do it. And the thing with trust, Nico, that's important to understand is that trusting God is like, it's when we give up it's relinquishing and surrendering our logic. It's faith over facts, because a lot of times you're not going to be able to see or figure it out, or like I say in the song, I don't have all the answers. I'm just literally out here trusting that God's going to do what he promised he would do.
Yeah, speaking of trusting God, there's times where we're in a situation where we don't really know, like you said, where to go, what to do. Was there any aha moment for James Fortune when you was like, all right, God, hands up, you got this, because I clearly can't take this.
Yeah, it's so many times. In the times we're living in now, it's like you think you have it figured out, or you think it's going to go this way, and it goes another way. And that's what I love about God. He always changes up his methods. The way you think he's going to bless you, God's got ways of opening up other doors, because he never wants you to get attached to a method. Because if you can get attached to a method and know what he's going to do, that's not faith. That's not trusting. So he says, you know what? I'm going to switch up the game. And for me, it's been several times in my life where I'm like, okay, God, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I do know that you're going to work it out. And I've had to simply say to people, even say, how are you going to do it? Or how's this going to work out for you? I say, you know what? I'm just out here trusting God. I don't really know, but we walk by faith and not by sight.
Absolutely.
It's not about, Nico, what we can see. It's about what he has said about our situation that should move us. Not based on the facts, but faith over those facts.
I love that. I want to talk about grace and mercy a little bit, because you have always been transparent. That's one of the things that I respect and love about you. And we're not going to go into the details, but I do know, a lot of people just try to get through the part of being forgiven or feeling like you are forgiven. Have you felt like you're still in a place where you're fighting for your grace and your mercy?
Yeah, I honestly haven't. 9 years ago when it happened, I was. And so I was with my therapist, and she said, one of our first therapy sessions, she said, James, have you forgiven yourself? I was like, like, I don't care. Like, no, I don't. I haven't even thought about that. I want to be forgiven by, the people that have been affected, impacted, and hurt. But she says, no, the first person that you need to forgive is yourself. She says, because if you don't forgive yourself, you're going to continue to have resentment toward yourself. You're going to continue to, hate yourself. And then you're going to project that onto others. And so the cycle will never stop. You have to be able to say, you know what, I made a mistake, but I'm not a mistake. And so even in rejection, for me, still having to deal with rejection, God has helped me process that to where it doesn't make me bitter. I just understand one of the things God said, he said, James, whoever can't get past your past is not a part of your destiny. Like he says, who I've assigned you to will accept you, because that's who you're called to. So for me, it's for anybody. If you made a mistake and you feel like, you know what, my life is over, I can never bounce back. God wants you to know, he wants you to look at my life and say, listen, he has a recycle ministry. That when other people throw you away or put you in the trash, that he can still use you. And for me, it was doing the hard work, not just going to church, but going through therapy. I believe you can have Jesus and a therapist. Because if we're going to come out of any situation, Nico, we got to come out head first. Absolutely. It starts with our mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. And so, man, I thank you for your support, but and everybody who supports me. But at the end of the day, I thank God for giving me the courage and the boldness to be able to speak about it and to be able to help other people not make the same mistakes. I think that's what our life should be. When we say, God, I'm available, a lot of times we think that means just I'm available to be on stages or win awards or have number one. Sometimes that I'm available means, no, I'm going to use you as an example of how my restoration works, how my unconditional love works in people's lives, and how you can make a mistake and you don't have to stay that way. You can change, go through the right process, go through the right season to where what happened in one season of your life does not have to define your lifetime.
Amen. That is so good. And I want to shout out the therapy part again too, because I'm a big believer in therapy. So I love to hear that you did that and you did the work on yourself. So that's really dope.
It's important, because what doesn't get healed gets handed down. And so even when you look at, generational curses, a lot of the things that we struggle with is because our parents or grandparents never got healed from it. So I understood my healing was not just for me, but it was for my children. It was for those after me, because what doesn't get healed gets handed down. And I want to say this: healed people hear differently. A lot of times when we're hearing and we're upset or we're dealing with anxiety and fear because we're just not healed yet. We're still battling with that trauma. And I'm gonna be honest, like I still go through therapy. It wasn't. I think it's. I need it constantly because the enemy continues to sometimes try to attack me and make me bitter or make me feel like man, I'm unworthy. So I just thank God that He's given me, like I said, that courage and boldness to continue to fight on.
Find y'all a good therapist, because I got one too.
Yeah, I promise.
Every other week.
Listen,
I'm in there. I'm on the couch.
I got a virtual therapist.
Now we virtual, right?
Zoom in.
We virtual. Speaking of virtual, listen, Fortune Live. Let me tell y'all something. Last night,
we shifting gears.
Last night, I happened to scroll across, and Pastor Mike was on there. Change. Boy, when I tell you.
Change.
I was like, what is going on?
That was the marching orders. Change.
It would change. Change everything. Change your socks.
Change wigs.
Yes.
It was just, change was the word.
It was good. I love the fact that y'all had a good time with that. Plus, you get to hear great talent.
Yes.
Can you let our listeners know, for those who aren't familiar with the show, can you give them a little insight?
Yeah, Fortune's Live Talent. So one of the things I've always done is, sharing my platform, giving people the opportunity to sing or be featured. And so that's what Fortune's Live Talent is. It's a talent show that me and Isaac Caree host together on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook, where whether you sing, whether you rap, whether you spoken word, we've had some of everything, praise dancers, where you just get to come on there and just, thousands of people watch every week, and you get to come on there and sing or whatever your talent is. And we're going to give you, we're going to tell you sometimes constructive criticism because we want people to be better, and I think that's, for a lot of people, that's the hardest part, just getting an audience. We've discovered some incredible people who have been signed to labels, who have record deals now, albums coming out, won a Grammy recently. So it's been great to see what God has done with that platform, Fortune's Live Talent, that kind of blew up during the pandemic because everybody was stuck at home.
Exactly.
And now we just kind of been keeping it going.
I love that. New single out with Monica, Trust God. Love the visuals for it. I said, man, let me tell y'all something. If James don't do nothing, them visuals gonna look amazing.
Hey, shout out to Monarch, Gina, the whole team for making that happen. And of course, Monica just does stuff at an elite level. A great friend of mine, and I'm excited about the single. If you don't have it, if you haven't downloaded it, Trusting God by James Fortune and Monica, get it, stream it, put it on repeat, send it to somebody, because we all are in seasons where, I'm just out here trusting God. I don't know. And so I think for me, it's a message of hope. It's a message of encouragement, because the Vamp, Nico, says, be still and know that I am God. And being still doesn't mean a complacency. It's a confidence that I'm not anxious. I'm not worried, because I understand that God ultimately is in control. He's my source.
I love that. And really quick, because we were just talking about it, you are the creative pastor for Rock City.
Rock City Church, Birmingham, Alabama. Pastor Mike Jr. is my pastor. We are Rock City, and it's a blessing. We just got a new building we're getting ready to go into sometime Easter, a little bit, around that time. So I'm excited about all that God is doing through Pastor Mike Jr.'s life, ministry and artistry. He's just one of the most gifted men that I've ever been around, and I'm blessed to serve with him, and I'm blessed to serve, to have him as my cover and as my pastor.
I love that. Like I told you, I'm gonna make it down there. The church is good when you're ready to jump on the road. Right. So we're gonna make that happen. James Fortune, Trusting God, and man, you know where we at. So you can always come back.
I'll pull up on you.
I'll pull up. James Fortune, y'all.
Peace.